Good morning, all you beautiful YouTube people. This morning, I thought I would do a quick video and just kind of show a basic day in the life, if you will, of an Amazon and eBay reseller, and just give you a couple of easy things to keep an eye out for in the thrift stores. For a long time, nobody was talking about some of these things because they're so incredibly powerful. They'll take you from having $1,000 in the account to making 10 grand a month inside of a year. And that's real money. My wife and I were doing that for a while there, and then we had a kid, and things changed. So we're getting back to that, but. Yeah, so I wanted to show you some real world examples of exactly what you can go out there right now today and find on a regular basis at thrift stores. Actual price points, at least here in the Seattle area. As far as I know, the Seattle area is probably going to be one of the more expensive places, so there's a good chance that wherever you're finding it might be actually cheaper. But anyway, and just show you, yeah, there is no saturation. I don't know, these people keep talking online about, oh my god, eBay and Amazon, they're saturated, and there's no market anymore, there's no room for making money anymore because people just race to the bottom and whatnot. There's a little bit of truth to that, but mostly there's not. Most of that is just bunk. Anyway, so to begin with, I don't know exactly if I'm going to make a ton of money on this or not. It's a Monopoly. It's brand new, still sealed in package. You guys can see the shimmery, of the in the light of the cellophane. If I get kind of close, you can see the price: $3.99. So $3.99 is actually very cheap around here. Most of the time, um, brand new games like this are going to go for $5 plus, and when it's a Monopoly and it's a limited edition, it's going to easily go for $10 plus, and that's why most of them just end up getting put right back on the shelf because they're just not worth it. But when you find one brand new like that, $4, not bad. Now, this particular one has a really, really high sales rank on Amazon, so I'm not even gonna mess with that. eBay, will see. It may actually end up being sold locally here, just simply because when it comes down to it, these guys, if you're not going to sell it on Amazon, I haven't had a ton of success selling on eBay this type of item yet. Maybe some other people out there have. Who knows? Everybody has different experiences and different levels of success, different success rates, I guess. But anyway, so $4 for a brand new Harley Davidson 95th anniversary edition Monopoly set, and I don't know, it was something that I couldn't pass up. I'm sure I'll make something on it. Who knows how much yet. On Amazon, by the way, I have not looked it up on eBay, but on Amazon, people are wanting like $80 plus. That might be part of the reason why this has such a ridiculous sales rank, is because nobody's going to pay $80 for a freaking limited edition Monopoly, at least not a Harley Davidson limited edition one. If it was like, what am I trying to think here? Shoot, I can't think of it's a kid's Pokemon. There we go. If it was like a Pokemon limited edition, brand new set, maybe. Those sets might go for more, or like maybe a Wizard of Oz or a Garfield, or something kind of classic. I don't see a lot of people that are really into Harley Davidson being really into Monopoly, and therefore really into the limited edition Monopoly. Hence why high sales rank and people are asking just too much money for it. So, next. The next three items are going to be very similar, and actually maybe four if I can find one. But first one is going to be VCRs. VCRs, so many people ask me, well, what do you sell on Amazon? And I say, you're not going to believe me when I tell you. And they say, well, why? I say, because the majority of my money actually comes from these things right here. Now, unfortunately, a lot of my returns also come from here. So if you don't have a threshold for a return rate, and specifically for them to be returned to you in a broken state, even though you ship them in a working state, Um, don't get into this game. But what I can show you is this right here, $7.99. Let's see, there you go, $7.99. That's actually fairly expensive. These things in this area can go up to like $10. I prefer not to pay more than about $5 each for them. However, when you're talking about VCRs, do some research on Amazon. You wouldn't believe, like, this VCR. Now, my memory might be a little bit wrong, but I'm pretty sure everything I'm going to show you has got a sales rank of 100 or less. Not 100,000, not 15,000, not 10,000, 100. 100 or less. Now, you tell me, do you think that that's going to fly off the shelf? Of course it is. Duh. Also, VCRs, even though, again, I paid $7.99 specifically for this one, VCRs go for anywhere between 50 and $100, typically. You're going to be into it for more than $7.99, and I'll do maybe a video later on that, but give you kind of a quick synopsis of what I do with these. I test them, first of all. You got to test them. I only test them for power and play. I don't test all the different functions because on a busy week, I'm going to run through maybe 100 of these, and I don't have time to sit there and test that kind of thing. But then, once you've tested it, I take, like some goof off and whatnot, and I get the stickers off. I make sure that there's no residue. Then I also take a damp washcloth, and I rinse the thing down because oftentimes, here, let's see if you can see this. This is actually a cleaner one that I normally get. But oftentimes, these are just ridiculously dirty. So the back side is the most important, but then also you want to make sure that the front side looks good. Sometimes there's going to be dirt and crap on the top. Again, they're coming from thrift stores. You don't know necessarily where they're coming from. So, okay, so after I clean it, now I got to bubble wrap it and tape it and list it and sticker it, with the little Amazon label. I usually just put it right on the top and then ship it. There's a lot of steps in there. And you know what? Your time is money. Sometimes people say, your time is cheap. Well, that's up to you. But if you think that your time is cheap, everybody else is going to think your time is cheap as well. So, I'm getting off on a little bit of a tangent or going down a little bit of a rabbit hole here, but know that when you're dealing with products and when you're out there sourcing and when you're going through them and whatnot, know that your time is valuable. The more time you spend sourcing, chances are the more money you're going to make. Everything else needs to come second fiddle to that. Sourcing should be the most amount of time that you spend on anything. And at some point you are going to need help because you can only source, or you can only, list and ship so many things. So anyway, you got a kind of a quick rundown of exactly what I do with my VCRs. Second one, also a VCR, and it's also a Panasonic. I'm not showing you the model numbers on these simply because I'm going to leave a little air of mystery. If you are doing this, if you're out there doing this, you need to know that you need to go out and start figuring out how to use these apps on your phones and start doing your own research. I'm a big proponent of I'll give you a helping hand towards what you're trying to do, but you need to take the ultimate step and get out there and do it. So this particular one was $6.99, so not too bad. Not great, not too bad. I have spent as little as like $3 on these things, so that's kind of cool. And once again, I want to say the sales rank on this is also under 100. So, and these guys, I'm about to give you a huge leg up. This is also a VCR. This will be the last VCR I show you, at least last solo VCR I'm going to show you. This brand of VCR, a couple of things about it. I'm not a huge proponent of this company all around. I love their gaming system. Outside of their gaming system, I'm really not a big proponent of anything else they do. Except because I do testing on these guys, on the VCRs and the DVD players and combo players, etc. Because I'm testing them, I constantly see what machines typically how well they work, how well these machines work. And this particular brand, I just kind of showed you the name there. This particular brand works typically better than any other brand that I really look at. So I mean, consistently, you're of course you're going to come up against broken players and whatnot because people are stupid and they don't know how to take care of their crap. But more often than not, you're going to find the best picture, best sound quality, best everything when it comes to VCRs with Sony. Sony, right there. So, in Sony players, you can see the little model number on the front, so I am going to show you that right there. SLV-N71. This guy has a sales rank of 3. Yeah. Sales rank of 3. Boom. And I think it sells for about $70. Oh. And I paid $5.99 for it. So, go out there and find your frickin' VCRs, because they will make you frickin' money. They're huge. They're awesome. They're amazing. Like I said, you are going to get a lot of returns. Your return rate will not go above, or at least it should not go above, what Amazon's threshold is, where they want you at and whatnot in your back office or your seller central. But people are idiots. Also, the mail carriers are absolute freaking morons. I hate them. I really do. If there was a different way to ship stuff, I would totally do it, because mail carriers don't give a flying rip about your stuff. So they don't take care of it. They don't do, whatever. Anyway, and they deliver constantly broken crap to our customers, and it sucks. I think last year we lost, I might be a little off on this, but I'm pretty sure we lost somewhere around $20,000. 20 grand, because mail carriers are assholes and they drop and don't take care of the packages as we ship them. Some people will say, well, why don't you wrap them better? Well, number one, bubble wrap is fucking expensive. Excuse my French. But it is expensive. For a roll of bubble wrap is, I want to say, like $20, $24, something like that. And that'll do about 10 players. So it's about $2, $2.50 a player. We always wrap twice. We wrap bubble wrap around it completely twice. And the fact that 85% or more of the players, I would say actually it's closer to the 90 to 93% of the players are delivered just fine. They work great. There's no problems with them whatsoever. So that tells me that we're wrapping them appropriately, that there's no issue with the way we're wrapping them. That also tells me that mail carriers are assholes and they don't care and they just throw stuff around. I mean, I was down, I take my boxes down to the local Staples store. If you don't have a Staples near you, basically it's an office supply store. They happen to have a deal with UPS where you can go and drop off your UPS packages there. Oh, and my kid's waking up, so I might have to cut this video short. You can go and drop off your packages, and one day I happened to drop off my packages just before the UPS guy got there. So I just stuck around and I waited because I wanted to see how he was loading up my boxes in the back of his truck. Now, keep in mind, my boxes are typically 35 to 50 pounds each. And so, they're relatively heavy, but there's no excuse for the way that he was freaking doing it. I watched him, and he literally chalked my boxes into the back of his truck. He didn't set them in there. He threw them in there. Now, I'm not saying he freaking long-armed it or anything, but still, his hands were off the box the last maybe second of it, falling into the back end of his truck, and that's unacceptable. That's not cool. UPS, shame on you for hiring people that don't take care of their frickin' packages. I know that they've got a time, excuse me, they've got a timetable that they have to deal with. Gosh, sorry about that, guys. And that they got a lot of different stops they have to make, and they got to do it in a timely manner, etc., etc. I get all that. There's no reason when you mark in big bold letters fragile, there is no reason for them to be throwing boxes. So What I highly recommend is, because they're not going to quit their practices until enough people say, hey, knock it the fuck off. If you have the similar problems that we do, which are that the items are obviously being delivered in a broken state to our customers, and then you get negative feedback, which is almost impossible to get rid of on Amazon because they think it's your fault, right? If you get that kind of reaction, right? If you're having that problem, contact UPS and say, look, this sucks. You need to work with us here. And if enough people do that, we're gonna have, it's gonna work out in our favor. They're gonna start changing their policies, because if enough people complain, and specifically if enough people actually put through claims, UPS hates claims. If everybody's putting through claims for their broken crap that UPS is most likely responsible for, then we're going to have some good turnout, and UPS is going to change. They're going to start treating our packages the way that they should be treated, and we're going to have less returns. So my kid got a little bit quiet, so we're going to keep going here. I think there's another player right over there that I want to show you guys, if I remember where it is. So give me 1 second. Perfect. Okay. There are 3 companies for the player I'm about to show you that make this particular type of player that constantly sell for really good money. And I had actually put one back on the shelf the other day. It really pissed me off. It's another story for another time. Keep your eye out for these 3 companies: Sony, Panasonic, and Toshiba. Those 3 companies will make you a stupid amount of money if you are consistent with. First of all, obviously make sure that the sales rank is right. I mean, that should go without saying, but some of you guys might be new. Some of you might not have what appears to be common sense at this point to me, but it may not be common to you. And, once upon a time when I was brand new too, it probably wasn't common to me either. So, Sony, Panasonic, and Toshiba, these are combo players. They're not just combo players, they're combo recorders. Now, most, and I mean most oftentimes, the VCR side of the player, this side right here of the player, that side is going to be recorder. It'll record. And by the way, there's all your buttons and whatnot, so you can see record right there. But this particular one, you see it's got record on the other side too for DVD, and you can see up in the DVD tray here, it says DVD dash with the minus sign RW/R plus RW/R and then recording. That means that side records. These players are freaking gold. Let me show you first real quick how much I paid for this guy. $12.99. That's typical, but not always. Sometimes these companies, like Goodwills, Value Villages, whatever other thrift store you might have near you, they're starting to get a little bit wise to these players, and they're starting to look them up, and they're realizing that these players actually have quite a bit of value. This particular player is going to sell for about $150 without a remote. Without. Why? Because people still pay it. And I'm not going to judge. If they're going to pay it, I'm going to sell it. So, look out for... Oh, and there's one other real good thing that this guy's got. It was just HDMI on the backside. Not all recorders are going to have HDMI. The ones that do will also be some of your better sellers. Typically. Not always. But just remember those three... manufacturers, the Sony, Panasonic, and Toshiba. Sometimes, and I stress sometimes, it's been a while since I've seen one, but Go Video sometimes will be also good in that realm. But again, it's been a while, so I don't necessarily recommend that. But just look it up. If you're curious, look it up. Take a look. So really, really, really good players. Something I stressed about this one that I should have stressed about the other ones too is the fact that these players sell without remotes. Always, always, always. Now, you're going to get a lot of negative comments and emails and feedback that if you're selling on Amazon, because most of the idiots that started the listing for this player that's selling really well listed it with a remote and says, oh, hey, it comes with a remote. People didn't understand back when Amazon got started and all these listings, got started, is that they're not the only one that's going to sell this fucking thing. There's going to be other people that sell it, and not everybody's going to have a remote. And if you look at a lot of the listings, I would venture to say most people don't have remotes with their players. Maybe I'm off on that. Maybe it's about middle. Maybe it's slightly above middle. But I want to say that more often than not, most of these players do not come with a remote. So somebody that's not paying attention goes on Amazon. They see, oh, this listing says it has a remote. So they click buy. Amazon fails to let them know that they are not buying the original listing. They fail. I hate to say that because I don't like to bite the hand that feeds me. And I really hope that this doesn't come about like a backlash on me, because obviously I don't want to ever stop selling on Amazon. I make too damn much money doing it. But the fact is that they do not do a good job making sure that the customers know that they are not buying what exactly they're looking at. They need to make sure that people know, hey, I need to read what these other sellers are listing their players at, what condition it's in and what it comes with, what it doesn't come with, and, list it. Or and read it, and so make an appropriate purchasing decision. A couple of things with that. Number one, make sure when you make a listing for a player, and really for anything else for that matter, make sure you do list what it comes with exactly. I always put towards the bottom of my listings, sale includes, and I list every piece of everything that comes with it. Why? Because I don't want there to be a confusion. I don't want to field email saying, oh, does this come with whatever? Well, I don't know at that point because it shipped over to the warehouse. I don't have it anymore. And when you're doing hundreds of items a week, how the hell are you supposed to remember that? Second thing that I'm now forgetting. What was the second thing I was going to go after? I think this was it. Second thing is you're going to get negative feedback no matter what. Fight it as best you can. But there's going to be feedback you just can't fight. There's going to be times when Amazon just, are just idiots, and they say, no, this is not our fault, therefore we're not going to take down the negative feedback when it has something to do with, somebody saying, well, this didn't come with a remote. Well, no shit, Sherlock, because I listed it without a remote, and I said it didn't have a remote, but you're an idiot and didn't read. I digress. Make sure you list it as it is. Make sure you tell everything it comes with, and in the case of players that don't have remotes, along with everything else, so if you do game systems, if you do, I don't even know what else might come with a remote. I'm looking around. I don't know. If you do with anything else that might come with something that somebody might think, this should probably come with whatever, and it doesn't, list it that way. Make sure you tell your customer what it does and does not come with. It helps when you try to fight these negative feedbacks. Okay. What else? I think that's just... Oh, no, you know what? I got a couple of cool things there. I'm going to show you. Laundry detergent. It's awesome. Love it. Why? Because I'm making money on it. all. Two different kinds of all. I got this stuff. It's brand freaking new. I got it at a yard sale. Who the fuck sells laundry detergent at yard sales? I don't know. But I bought it at a yard sale. They had a ton of crap. They had body wash, and they had literally like 15 different kinds of laundry detergent. And they had, just tons of crap. Stuff I'd never even heard of, but a lot of it was name brand stuff. And I looked a lot of it up. I didn't spend the time to look all of it up. My wife and my kid were in the car, and my wife doesn't like it when I stop at garage sales, but or yard sales, whatever. But in this case, she kind of understood because it was very unique. It was something that you just don't see very often. But I did find both of these guys right here. They sell very well. If you buy all, look it up. My wife did a little bit of research, and it does not have very good customer feedback. So, like people that do like tests and whatnot, make sure that it cleans properly and it does X, Y, Z and whatever. All doesn't do a very good job. So why it sells 180 units plus a month, I have no idea. But if people are going to buy it, I'm gonna sell it. So. Bought these. They were I want to say I got like 20 units, give or take, something like that. I bought everything that they had out there. They had $3 a bottle on it. Now $3 a bottle is not a bad deal. Here's the thing: don't ever, do not ever go to a yard sale, a garage sale, or any other private party sale and just pay asking price without asking. Always ask. I asked flat out, I'm going to clear off your shelf. I'm going to buy everything in this row of detergent. What can you do for me? Can you make me a deal? Can you make, can we work something out here? Because I'm going to spend a little bit of money with you. And she said no. Now, I'm not, what I'm about to say, I do not want this to come across as being a racist comment. It's not. I have no problem with any race whatsoever. They were a Spanish descent, I guess, people, family. And so they didn't, the reason I'm saying that, they didn't speak fluent English. They spoke broken English, and to a certain extent, pretty decent broken English, but I don't think she quite fully understood what I said. So, because of that, I decided to reiterate my question in a little bit of a different format. I'm not getting in her face. I'm being very cordial. I'm just letting her know, hey, I understand, but I'm still curious. I'm going to buy this. I kind of pointed at everything I'm going to buy to make sure it's in her head. Oh, okay, he's going to get all of this. And I said, can we do a little bit of a better deal than $3 each? And she said, oh, yeah, I'll do 2 for $5. You're only saving $1 per 2 bottles, but that's $1. And in this game, you're doing this to make money. You're trying to make money, not spend money. Well, you're kind of trying to do both. But point is, I got 2 for $5. I ended up spending like $40. Unfortunately, there were a couple of bottles. I looked something up wrong. It was a pack of 6 that I was looking up instead of a single pack, and I missed that, unfortunately. So I got stuck with some bottles. Luckily, I got some family and whatnot that wanted to buy them off of us, so I didn't make any money on that. By the way, don't make money off family. That's not cool. Charge people, charge family, what you're into it for, period. That's just, anyway. So, that's what we did. We bought them for $2, or $2.50 a piece. I spent like $40, and I think... No, that was by itself. They also there was like a multi-family sale. There was somebody else there, and they had a little kid seat, something that my wife had was looking for on Amazon. It was like $40 on Amazon. This lady had one that was in really, really good condition for like $10. So anyway, but so that was separate. I spent $40 on this stuff. It's all got a sales rank of I think like 20,000 or less in the home and household. Health and household, something like that. Home and health. Yeah, we should make some decent money on it. So, I think that's it for Amazon. I've got a ton of stuff. You can see an Xbox One right back there that I still got to work on. I found that at a thrift store, and actually it's kind of cool. I got it for free at a thrift store. Go figure. You can never get free crap at thrift stores, but when you spend $1,000, you get some negotiating room. And when you're dealing with the store manager directly, that does not happen very often. This $1,000 that I spent, it was actually $1,800 that I spent, was on a framed original poster of Star Wars, the first Star Wars. It was framed, and it was certified. It had a little certificate of authenticity with every major cast member's signature on it. I want to say they were going for something like $4,000 online. I'm not selling it though. It's cool. But point is, I bought it and I was like, you know what? That Xbox One, it plugged in and it sort of turned on, but it was given kind of a glitch, and they didn't have a TV to see what was going on a screen with. So I just said, hey, just throw in the Xbox and I'll pay your asking price. By the way, also they were asking $2,500 for it. I offered $1,000. They came back at $1,500, and because of good old Uncle Sam, I ended up paying closer to $1,800 for it. So there you have it. What else? What else? I think, okay, so again, I think that's it for Amazon. Let me show you a couple quick things I'm doing on eBay, and then I'm going to wrap this video up. It's been a half an hour already. Damn, that's a long video. All right. These couple of things I bought, God, close to 2 years ago now. I should have really done something better than this. Oh, well, whatever. Samsung. It's a... What does this say? It's a photo player. Anyway, let's see if I can show you kind of close up what it says there. You can kind of read it a little bit. Anyway, I can pretty much guarantee you this $59.99 sticker. Boom. Well, it's upside down, but you get it. There you go. $59.99. That sticker, anytime there's any kind of a significant cost that I go to Value Village for, I get it at a like a 30% discount, because I'm constantly donating there, and they give you little cards that are worth 30% off. So this guy was, I want to say it was going for over $100. Like I said, a couple years ago. Now it's not going for crap, and unfortunately, it did not have a power cord with it. And I'm not very good when it comes to power cords. I know that the whole thing with AC versus DC, and then like your watts and your amps and your volts and all that crap, you kind of got to know what you're plugging in, because if you screw it up, you're going to blow up whatever it is you're plugging in, or you're going to blow up your power supply, and either way you're screwed. It's not a good situation. You can see the back side of it there, and the power is right there. It's just kind of a generic plug, but it doesn't say what it requires up on here, which a lot of times they will. On the back side, maybe somebody... Oh, look at that. It does say DC 12 volt and 1